Alright, week 7 greenhouse. It's Saturday morning. Just trying to get as much as I can done today. Starting to get a few ants out here and whatnot, but that's the Italian sweet pepper, whatever that's going to grow to be. Beefsteak's got a little tomato hanging out there already. Isn't that special? Kind of snuck in there. You gotta figure it's only 2 weeks tomorrow for these plants. Same with the jalapeno. So this jalapeno has been getting a ton of aphids. You can see the ugly little suckers hanging out in there. Those are all dead. And the undersides of the leaves, you can see all these little brown spotches. Those are all dead, but they're kind of stuck to the leaves. It looks ugly. We'll see what happens. But I mean, the plant itself is trying to grow. It's not really affecting the growth. But yeah, and it's only affecting the jalapeno, and you'll see what's left of the Thai chili down the road here. Again, chocolate sprinkle. Been keeping them trimmed up pretty good. You notice from the bottom, about 8-12 inches depending on the plant. That's supposed to keep the ants at least somewhat at bay. Granted, they can climb up the trunk, but whatever. But we can see one of the chocolate sprinkles trying to ripen here. It is an heirloom. Basically, it's a dark purple heirloom tomato, right? But they call it chocolate sprinkle for whatever. But you can see all the tomatoes coming in there. Lots of blossoms. I've been pollinating them. The red pear, again, lots of blossoms. No sign of a tomato popping out yet, but I mean, there was a tomato or two when they got kind of burned a couple weeks ago, but that's all right. It's still playing catch up. And that's pretty near 7 feet tall. I'm trying to keep it trimmed, but it's just, you know, it's touching the plastic. I trimmed it to a certain amount like here, but it's just growing. The bitter melon, been keeping fairly trimmed as well. It keeps growing out. I mean, every other day I clip something off that's growing like here and hang out in the back. So if you look at last week to this week, I think that's like quadrupled in size. So it's just growing at a pretty good rate. Not as fast as the cucumbers, but it's growing pretty darn good, pretty fast. If it survives, here's what's left of the Thai chili. It just had so many leaves and so many aphids. So I chopped them all off, and I figured there was a lot of shoots. You can see the shoots. And I figured I would see if it came back or not. But worst case is it dies off and it leaves $2 or whatever it was. This little midnight snack, cherry tomato, doing pretty good. Again, you know, these are only 2 weeks old in the greenhouse, so a bunch of blossoms coming out. Grape tomato's been doing fabulous. Again, you know, I keep saying blossoms, but just pointing them out, right? So, one tomato trying there, and we have one in the last 2 days. It's been starting to ripen. So, you know, a day or two will be ready to eat. I'm imagining these other ones all come in about the same time, even though these are a little smaller, but there's no end rot, so that's the important part. So they're healthy. The fajita pepper is doing all right. Seems a little runty compared to the other one, but I started that one from seed from a pepper out of the grocery store, so I'm surprised it actually even grew. I think the peppers come out of Mexico, and a lot of times they radiate stuff coming across the border here, so there's some little bugs hanging out in there. I'll have to get that sprayed down before they get out of control. There's nothing on the bottom of the leaves yet, so there's indigo rose. That looks more like grapes than it is tomatoes, but whatever. There's early girl. There's blossoms coming. Black creme. Yes, I failed. Still don't have the name of these. Whatever, they're tomatoes. You don't like it, deal with it. Big Bertha peppers. Trying to keep them sprayed so they don't get any bugs. I've got them trimmed up from the bottom pretty good. Probably need to clip that little shoot on the bottom and trying to get some of the growth to make it go up. Secondary cucumber is starting to catch up. There's cucumbers on there. It's not as tall as the other one, and then this one, I had some issues where it was overflowing when I came out to go to work one day, so I had to unplug the feeder, put it in the other one. Kind of crispied up a couple of the leaves because it was really hot, but I get anywhere from 2 to 4 of these little cucumbers a day, unless I find one hiding like I did yesterday, and there was like a 6-inch one. So other than that, things are going really well. Like I said, a little crispy here on the top for a leaf or two, but the plant's been producing pretty heavy, so you can see all the yellow going on here, and even with as much trimming that I've been doing, like right here is a good example. You got 2 coming out of the same junction, and that one's turning yellow and needs to be trimmed off. Same here, that one's dying off. I didn't like what was going on there, so you get too many coming out of the junction or the armpit, and they do not do well. So other than that, nothing special going on this week. Oh, and let me back up the bus. So yes, there is one other thing. So I bought an aerator. So same thing like with aquariums, hydroponics, they suggest pushing oxygen into the tank of the reservoir. So I'm pushing it into the small one because to feed the reservoir outside would be ridiculous. So there's this little tiny pump. You can't hear it, but it actually has some rubber feet, and it sucks in air and pushes oxygen in the tube. Let's see if I can pull this up. And they do what they call an air stone. And it's this stone with the tube in there, and you can't really see it, but it basically, it blows bubbles through that piece of stone and puts oxygen into the water or the plant mix, as it may be. So it's supposed to make the plants a little healthier and keep the nutrient that's flowing through there from, it kind of stinks when if it sits stagnant, even though it's constantly moving right now, but it's just supposed to make everything healthier. So other than that, that's the updates for this week. It says 60, it's probably 65 or 70 in here. I guess that's not too bad. I tried to calibrate it the best I could. It was way off by like 20 or 30 degrees. But it's just a good indicator when I'm in here to see how hot it is. And I've been leaving the sides up the last, I guess I'm spinning kind of quick for that, but whatever. But leaving the sides up, it's been warm enough at night. Even though it's been getting like to 60 a couple days this week. So earlier this week I turned the sides up and down, but the last 2 nights left them open. It was like 70 some odd degrees by, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning. So not terrible for the plants. Other than that, that's it.